All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow, and remember, no one is worthless, no story is worthless. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest for you. I'll give you a couple of words about my guest. Confidence, CEO, expert, business, all the way from Greensboro, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Miss Chisa Pennix-Brown. What's going on now?
Oh, everything's going on. I am in a great place where I am just happy to be here. And I want to thank you so much for letting me come and share a couple of words. I love the words that you have for me because all of those are completely perfect. And I think, pretty much accurate. So I definitely appreciate your words for me. So thank you so much.
Oh, you are most welcome. Look here, I've looked over your bio, miss, and we're going to talk about you real quick in a positive light because I like to give people flowers when they are alive. So let's give you these flowers. Let's just run down your bio here. All right, your resume. So, North Carolina's #1 small business facilitator, expert in business, right here. All right, CEO of Lady Bizness, right here. And what is Lady Bizness? What is Lady Bizness, ladies and gentlemen? It is a small business development company focused on helping people start and grow businesses. You are also an owner of Hot Biz Studios, Black-owned, woman-owned podcast studio in North Carolina. First and foremost, right here, #1, y'all. All right, trailblazer. And not only that, on top of that, 2019 Small Business Advocate of the Year for the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce. And you are the executive director of the nonprofit Real Glow Getters. Okay. Now that's just some of the stuff that you do. All right. Now you do a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's just some of the stuff that you do. Man. So, well, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I left out two important things. She also launched a book, Give It to the People. And she also has, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Your lifestyle magazine is called Give It to the People. And you launched a book, The 90-Day Focus, Your Action Plan for Success. And it's available on Amazon.
Yes, sir.
I just named a whole bunch of stuff that you just did. So my #1 question to you, how do you gracefully balance all of your businesses?
I don't ever think that there's necessarily a balance. I think that there's always something that needs to take priority at any point in time. So I always tell people what makes the most amount of money, focus on that first. And then all of those ancillary projects, all of those other things that you want to do, then you can go ahead and you can, put those into the place that they need to be, because balance to me, it's not a realistic thing. Like if you want to spend more time with your family, you probably need to build your business up so that you have more money to spend time with your family, because it's a time issue, right? So I always think of, what do I need to focus on right now? And so that's how the 90-Day Focus even came about, because it was like, if I want to get to here, then I need to make sure that these things are done in this 90-day increment. And that's, to me, I guess if you want to say balance, that's the way that I balance, because I think everything has a different priority at different times for who you are right then and for what the opportunity is that you have right now, and then switch it up later on if you need to.
Okay, so may I ask, why 90 days?
90 days is a great time for you to start a habit. It's definitely a great time. They usually say 21 days to start a habit, and then 90 days is a lifestyle. And so my biggest thing is everything is seasonal anyway. So if you kind of look at that more so in a divine order of how just the world operates, it's just like we have 4 seasons, right? So if you think about the things that you need to do in summertime, those are not the same things you need to do in the wintertime. But if you want to be relaxing in the wintertime, you probably need to be working in the summertime. So it's just kind of really taking the time to think about, what do you want at this point in time? What do you want future you to have? And then just balancing it in those 90 days. And I think that it's a great way to plan events. I think that it's a great way to just prioritize your time. And it's not so long that people can't see it. When you say 90 days, people are like, oh, okay, I can do that. But if you told them there was a 1-year program, it's like, whoa, a year, I can't invest that. But you're doing whatever you're doing anyway in the course of your day. So would you rather go ahead and focus on getting something done and just taking that increment? And if you give them that little chunk, they can do that little chunk. But it's like, once you go and you say, oh my God, a whole year, but it's your life. You're going to be, you know, God willing, alive a whole year, but you just need to focus on it. And I think 90 days is enough time where it's not so daunting for people.
Okay, I like that. I like that. And I know the key word is focus. So,
there you go.
Man, you have to have that. So what's a day in your life like?
Oh, it's so different now. From the pre-COVID life, oh my God. I have realized this year that I used to rip and run and do and go and go, and it was just too much. So now a day in the life is usually get up in the morning, probably drink a little tea, possibly have a little breakfast, depending on what the day is. And then I usually start my day by looking over the calendar for what we need to do. We go ahead and right now at this point, I get client work done. I do my posting and things that I need to do in the morning if there's something I need to do that particular day. And what I started doing, and anybody that wants to do this, I think you're welcome to. So I started looking over an app that's called Fabulous. And it gave you challenges to motivate you to just be a better person every day. And one of the things that they had in there was a 10,000 word challenge. And I was just like, 10,000 words? That just sounds like so much. And it is. 10,000 words is a lot. Yeah. But in the mornings at 8 o'clock, because that's when I have my alarm set to go ahead and do it, I try to get up and go ahead and write those 10,000 words, which are either going to be what I was thinking about when I first woke up. It could be some type of intention for the day. It could be, it's more so just for me though. So it's kind of like a journal for yourself as far as I'm concerned. But I always felt like if I had some content in there that I wanted to turn into something, what I see is when I write those 10,000 words, it's turning into kind of like, what are my posts? What's my intention for the day? It just gives me that little boost and that little motivation first thing in the morning. So that's something that I've been doing for myself, and anybody that wants to go and join that little challenge for yourself, I would suggest do it, because you'd be surprised at how smart you are and how you're chronicling your life during this time frame with those 10,000 words each day.
That's why she's confident, y'all. That's why I put one of those words down and boost.
Oh yeah. And then I teach classes, and then I also counsel people throughout the day. So the day just varies depending on what the day is. But I do a lot of one-on-one counseling, and then I also will teach 1 or 2 classes a day for like an hour each class, depending on whatever I'm doing. And that to me that's a full day. And you know, if you have time to do other things in the course of that day, then okay. But I also, let's not forget, I do make time for naps every so often. So let's not forget that you need a little nap every now and then. And even if you don't go to sleep, you might just need to lay down just to rejuvenate, because working from home makes you work from home all the time. And I think you have to just take a little time off in between sometimes too.
Okay, now you know what? I think those are great words, because for the most part, I don't think people are really coming up or thinking that far ahead as far as that concept. Even though we're working from home, we're working from home. So even though we're not at the actual job itself, we're still on the job. So home sort of feels like the job. So we still have to work. So those breaks and everything you will set for yourself, if you were at your regular 9 to 5, do so while you're at home as well, working your 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. Nuggets. Okay, I see you over there. Okay. So, who or what influenced you, and your interest in the world of business? Like, how did you even get started in to have this business mindset?
I didn't realize it. It took me years. I was actually doing a radio interview probably 2 or 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And as I was talking, I was realizing that my parents, which are technically my grandparents, because I was raised by my grandparents, always had a business, but I never really looked at it from that perspective when we were younger. So the house that we were in was huge. It had 28 rooms in the house. It had 5 apartments, a full basement that covered the whole house. And so they, had tenants in the house, in the different apartments inside of the house. And I would say that this was, so I was born in 79. So when you talk about Black people doing that, in 79, mind you, they were doing it before I was born, right? So in the 70s, buying a house, having tenants, and their tenants were Black people, and making sure that people had a great quality of life. That was, the start of them doing their own business. And, I didn't think of it like that until I was doing an interview that one day. And I'm just like, I think that there always needed to be something else that you did that brought you money. And it didn't have to be something that you're like, oh my God, I love everything, but it was something that was there that was a cushion. So when I started thinking about that, I'm just like, well, they always did that. And then my grandmother, we used to make stuff and craft and things like that, and then sell our stuff. So it started from then. And I just always knew I wanted to work for myself. I just needed to find out, from that age to down, what was I good at and what was my gift to give to people. And so I would say that my gift is definitely confidence and clarity of purpose, because there's so many people that don't know what they want to do. And when I sit down with them, I'm just like, okay, well, what do people ask you all the time? When you look at the things that people ask you, you are like a whole encyclopedia. You have so much stuff that's inside of your mind that you just need to take out and monetize. And then once you make it simple for a person and then they understand how they can do that as a business, I think that then is where like my light bulb goes off and it's like, I love it. Because you get that energy when you can see other people seeing how great they can be. It's amazing.
So she also does consultation, ladies and gentlemen. Like, she ain't gonna tell you that, but that's what she does, pretty much on the side as well. Because man, she does it all, y'all. She does it all. Lady Bizness. I'm telling you, this is why she's on the show. She's about that business, man. I love entrepreneurs. I love them. I love it. Let's talk about the Real Glow Getters. What's that all about?
So Real Glow Getters is our nonprofit that we started. It was myself and two of my friends. And we knew that we had some knowledge to impart to other people, but we also knew that women were who we really wanted to affect. Because I think that when you start to think about the fact that women, especially Black women, are starting businesses at super high rates, but the businesses are not necessarily making as much as their counterparts, then that was one of the things that we wanted to be able to change. And what we saw was access to the education was the problem for women. So they couldn't get to classes during the week because they were working. Whether it was first shift, second shift, third shift, or whatever. And then on the weekend, that's when they're trying to hustle up everything. So what we did was we formulated an organization that's membership based to help women to be able to get the training that they needed. But then also to do the one-on-one things where, you would find out what their business individually needs, not just the group as a whole. And then also looking at how we can help them with the press and the PR part as far as, and we don't do the PR for them, but put them in a position where they have their pictures, their website is updated, they make sure that everything on their social media looks good. And so that's really where this started. Now, we only have done it for women in North Carolina because we specifically wanted women to be in touch, like to physically be here. And then we're talking about possibly going ahead and starting something where it's going to be an online portion, which will then allow anybody to be able to be a member. So to me, women are the backbone, no matter what, we create from the beginning. That's what we're made to do. So it's just like, can you find an organization that's not just trying to be here just to be pretty, because we want to be pretty too, but we also want to drop knowledge and we want to make money.
Look here, she's not going to have an issue with that because she's been dropping knowledge and she is making the money. She's Lady Bizness, y'all, and she's on this show. All right, okay. So, so you just told me what's pretty much next for the Glow Getters. Let's talk about this book. All right. So it's a bestseller on Amazon, The 90-Day Focus, Your Action Plan for Success. How can we be successful, especially in these times of the pandemic?
Get rid of the things that you don't need. Like, honestly, I think that that's the biggest thing. I think not settling for the status quo that you've already settled for in the past and making a decision that you want something else. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. So there's a quote that I made up that's in the book that says you have to give up something to get something. And for me, I take that quote to heart because every time, I promise you without fail, I can never tell you how long it's going to take. I can never tell you where it's going to come from. But when I set the intention to say, well, I want this, then something else ends up leaving, canceling, closing, whatever that part of life is, and then it opens it up to something new. So have you ever seen that meme before where there's a kid and they're standing there and they have this teddy bear that's in their hand and they don't want to give up the teddy bear because they see the other person and the other person has something behind their back, right? And the teddy bear that they have behind their back is so much bigger than the one that's in their hand. And they don't want to give up that little teddy bear, not knowing that it's a bigger teddy bear behind that they'll enjoy even more, that has more features, everything. So I think that people have to be able to put that little teddy bear aside, right? And then go with that. You don't necessarily know what the other thing is that's in store for you. But if you put forth the work and the intention and the action that goes along with it, you're going to get that big teddy bear. So I want to encourage everybody to get a big teddy bear. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop holding on to what it used to be. And I think the biggest thing for us right now is to make the decision that life will never be what it was before COVID. Once you understand that, you can then start to move forward with what you have now. And there are people that are going to start businesses that never thought about starting businesses before. But now they realize, oh, goodness, y'all are doing layoffs. You have me furloughed. Or, oh, my goodness, I don't really want to do what I was doing before. And then they use what they have to get what they need. So I think that you got to realize you got to give up something. If you're going to be as successful as you need to be, what do you want? Put forth that intention.
Okay, now, I think that is very key, very sound advice, and man, go get that book, y'all. And second, so pretty much to your point, during these times, people, will be starting new businesses. People won't be going back to the old jobs they used to have. And you're right, life will not be as it once was, So for those who are starting businesses now, what are some of the pitfalls that, people can avoid if they're going to start a business right?
Start your foundation off right. I would definitely say that, because it's easy to bootleg something. And if I have some best advice,
yes,
just going forward, because I don't want to give general stuff, right? So it's, hey, start your business. Okay, that's great. But I would say for the average person to consider to start at least an LLC. And I'm going to give you a reason why. So when a lot of people were denied those PPP loans, the EIDL loans, and those things of that nature, what happened was they were sole proprietors and they weren't giving the loans out to sole proprietors. So I operate in the idea of do what you need to do to get what you need to get. So like I just had a person send me a message today, as a matter of fact, that said, oh my God, I'm trying to apply for this loan. What do I need to do to get HUB certified? And HUB is historically underutilized business. It's a business term it's a certification that you can get so that this way you get access to government contracts. Now, mind you, I've been telling this person for 11 years about the certifications, about what to do. I've been having workshops on it for the last 2-3 years. And now this person wants to get a loan and they cannot get the loan because they're not HUB certified. So I told them, I said, well, even if you apply right now and you have all of your paperwork in order, you might be able to get your certification by the end of the year. But you can't get to the next step unless you do the things that are necessary. So for me, I would say, do all of your due diligence to be a real business Pinocchio. Be a real boy Pinocchio, right? Like just be a real business out here. Go ahead and then file and get that LLC and then start the business, because everybody's waiting on some perfect time. And it's not necessarily a perfect time, except for the fact that, guess what? Now, today, that's the perfect time to start the business. So don't let people discourage you, but just get your paperwork in order so that this way you can have what you need to have, because the opportunities are going to come. I promise you that if you really start something and you put forth the effort, it's just, are you going to be prepared for those opportunities? That's what I would say to people.
Oh my God, look, nuggets, dropping them, knowledge, man, catch it, you man, whoop, man, there it is. I mean, like some 15 pounders there, I'm telling you, boy, look. Let's talk about your lifestyle magazine.
Yes. That's actually one of my favorite things to talk about, because this was, I don't even want to say it was a labor of love, but I think it genuinely was a labor of love. So I've been saying for years, I would love my husband and me to do business together, and I would love to do something together. And he finally, because of COVID, right, during this time, he said, well, okay, we can do this together. So, my thing was, well, I wanted to, last year, maybe 2 years ago, turn more into a whole lifestyle type of brand as opposed to just teaching the classes. And I do all kinds of things, as you can see. So people were like, oh, well, where do you get that? Well, what do you they ask questions all the time. So my biggest thing was, let's do something together. So we put together Give It to the People as our way to kind of share a little bit of our life of what was going on with us throughout COVID. So I put in recipes, we cooked, we did a great photo shoot. We put in playlists. So he had his playlist, I had my playlist, so that this way you could catch a vibe. And we told you about upcoming events. And then we also kind of highlighted everybody that's kind of on our team, like the people that are behind us that we work with. And so to me, it was really fun because it was a way to really recognize some people, and it was a way to just let people know about some products and things that are out there that we love, and to be able to just kind of give you a feeling. And let me tell you, people were just like, oh my God, I love this side of you. And I'm just like, you knew I had a husband. Like, it's not like I'm just hiding him in the closet somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like he's in a drawer. Like I got him in the thing. But it's like, they're like, wow, it's so nice to see you and your husband together and Black love and all of this. And what I realized after we released it was, it might not be enough Black love, right? So it might not be enough happy Black couples out there. And I was like, well, this is good. So we decided, we were going to release this one issue and just see how that went and see what the response was and everything. And so, we just did it for that time frame because we knew what we were going through in COVID, and we kind of wanted to impart that on other people. So we might do another one in 2021. I'm not sure of that yet, so I can't say if that's going to happen or not.
All right. Okay.
But
all right.
I think that, I think that it was one of those things where he was able to see himself look like, a person in a magazine, and so just being able to do that, I think when you see yourself like other people see you sometimes, it might pull out a little piece of you that you didn't even know existed. And everybody was like, oh my God, he took pictures, he's out here, because he is not a social media person. Okay. He does not want to be in the, what did they say, all in the shows, all in the videos, like Chip I said. Mm-hmm. He is not dancing in the videos. He's not doing any of that, right? That's not his life. But it gave him just, an expression of himself. And so I think that for me, that's probably the happiest thing as far as something that we've been able to put out this year. That's really made me something that I'm proud of.
Okay, well, I salute you too, Black love all day, couples, man, people getting it, man, look here, marriage getting it done, all right, okay, look here,
yes.
As I said I do, don't mean I ain't gonna get this magazine popping, come on now, let's go.
Let's get it popping.
Let's get it popping, all right. So if people want to get in contact with you, if people want more of Lady Bizness, how can people get more of Chisa Pennix-Brown?
They can get more of all of it. Go to the website at ladybizzness.com, and on the website you will see, and I'm getting ready to update the website so I can tell you that that's getting ready to come. But the podcast is there. You will be able to download the magazine on there. You'll be able to see all of the events. And one thing that I like to always tell people is a lot of my events that I do, where they're training to help you start and grow your business, are free. So when you jump online, that gives you the opportunity to say, okay, well, let me see, is this a paid one or is this a free one? And most of them are free. So that gives you that opportunity. And then if people are wanting to book the counseling, they can. The book is on there. It's a blog on there. So they'll be able to get in touch there. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Chisa Pennix-Brown, which is CHISA Pennixbrown, and that's where I put all of my shenanigans. So that is my favorite outlet is Instagram, just because I feel like connected to people there. And I've met some wonderful people on Instagram. So for me, that's where I like to be. The people that are on Facebook, I probably know most of them or they're close to me, but Instagram to me just opens up a world of other people that are just interested in what you do and who you are. And that to me has been an impactful thing, and also giving me inspiration throughout this time, because people are really creative. And so I've been purchasing from a lot of Black businesses, a lot of women-owned businesses because of Instagram. So I would say, even though I know you just asked me where they can find me there, but also use it for yourself. use it for you too, because I mean, there's so many great people out there. So use it.
Yes. Okay. All right. There you go. So, Miss Chisa Pennix-Brown.
Yes, sir.
I've come to my very last question. This is the question that my show is known for. So,
Okay.
what is the one word that best describes you and why? Just one.
You're making it really difficult.
Yes.
And I know exactly which word I'm going to use, though. And I'm going to use this word because of, if you're watching, how I look right now. And it's actually one of my 3 words that describes my brand. I'm going to say colorful. And I'm going to say colorful. First of all, if you're looking at me, you can see the myriad of colors. I like to call this new little hairdo. This is the Candy Factory. Every hairdo has a name, right? So for me, I think that black has been my favorite color forever, but everything derives from blackness, if you really think about it. And so all of the wonderful colors that we see in the world are really the things that help comprise us and give us all of our different facets and make us interesting. So colorful is one of those things that I think really describes me and describes my brand, because I think that you can kind of move colors and they make you feel a certain way. So find the color that works for you and use that color to your benefit in your marketing, use it in the clothes that you wear, because I think you'll find inspiration in the colors that you bring into your life, into your home, into your car, wherever you're at. So colorful, that's my word.
All right, well, you know what? I'm gonna use a word you just used, and that's inspirational, because I think that's what you are, and I think that's what you have. Oh, man, of all the things I listed about you and just having this conversation with you, you are a very inspiring person. And I mean, I feel as if, you get things done. And for those people who need things done, especially when it comes to the business side, this is the person to go to. So go to them. All right.
There you go.
All right. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I am Ty Brownlow, your host. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can find me on social media at Word with Ty Brownlow on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Ty Brownlow TV. And you can go to my website, tybrownlow.com, to get this lovely interview, plus all the other interviews as well. Chisa Pennix-Brown.
Yes.
Thank you for being my guest.
Well, Ty Brownlow, thank you so much for having me, and I do appreciate you sharing your platform with me. You had some really great questions, and I will definitely be encouraging more people to follow you and definitely to keep up with you, because I love it when men, especially Black men, are doing something inspiring and enriching the community. So thank you for being an inspiration as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. We out, people. Peace.